felt like that. Hmm. Must have a raging headache. I need to name this key. Did I get into a fight of any sort? Fight? No. You were quite active. Yes, Paige was there, as well as a few others. I hope he's alright. Where did I... Don't I have an anvil? Somewhere around here. Ha. Back in there with my project. Let me just put that in my room. I would not stop you. Very well. I should probably grab him some potions. I don't know know if he's drunk through the rest of the ones that I already left there. Oh. Ah, page. Oh. Nice. Didn't I have a pass? I know I have a pass. Yeah, there's my name. Fine. Other way. No, that's the library. This way. Atticus? Hello? Oh. What? Oh, oh goodness. Atticus, are you in here? Goodness gracious. Atticus? Atticus? Hey,
Hello.
are you okay?
Never better.
Are you sure about that?
Probably not.
Okay. Here.
Paige said she did punch me. If that's any indication.
Drink those.
That is so loud.
Yeah, there's more outside your door.
Hadn't quite gotten that far.
I can see that.
How are you holding up?
Oh, you know, just swinging between life and death as per usual.
Right. Do you know if Ophelia's around?
I don't believe so. Do you feel ill?
No, I just have matters to discuss with her.
Ah.
No, I did ask Paige. She said that I'm not sure. She says we exchanged a few punches. That would explain. Maybe.
Yeah, you look a little beat up, I won't lie.
Am I bruised?
You at least look tired.
Really, that's news to me. I sure do not feel it. That's a joke.
Okay, well, those potions should make you feel better. I can bring in the other ones too.
Very well.
In the meantime...
Did you move my couch?
Hmm?
You moved my couch?
I didn't move any of your furniture. I just walked in and saw it like this. Granted, I just cleaned it up, so...
Well, I at least made it home on my own this time.
True, yes.
just very bright.
Ah. Well, if I stand right there.
Better.
Okay.
I don't think it was this bad after we drank.
No, but you did experiment with some different kinds of wine.
I experimented.
Uh-huh. You drank some pretty hard Netherian wine.
I remember that there was the foul tasting one that Paige handed over.
Mm-hmm.
Or somewhere I spent my supply of money to get you the tea that you favor.
Yep. Witherspoons.
That's all I've got.
How much do you remember?
Given it hurts to think, I'm not searching all too hard.
Mm.
Do you know I was creating a waystone when I woke up? Or did I just find that?
Because you put it down and then I picked it back up for you.
I'm seeing how I got home.
It was fun though.
That's good. And Paige is alright?
Yes, Paige is fine. In fact, I saw her not long ago. We were apologizing to Enya for buying out her entire stock.
I thought you just picked up a few.
I did. And then later we bought out the whole stock.
How much was drank?
A lot. I believe you and Paige tried having a drinking contest, and she taught you how to chug.
I've spectated one before. They were both falling over in their chairs and looked foolish. Did you end up drinking any?
I only drank my tea.
My money's worth then.
No, it's alright.
I suppose you've been having a much better day than I, then.
I've just been working on projects all day. And trying not to go insane.
The manor?
I did not process what you said.
The manor that you were working on building.
Oh. Yes, that, as well as the potion shop, and another thing that I have on my plate now.
Another thing?
Indeed.
What now?
An overworld embassy in the Nether.
Well, given I've never been bedridden, I'm not going to start now. Is the potion shop done yet?
Not quite done yet, but soon.
At least look better than previous?
Yeah.
Lead the way then.
Alright.
I'm not going to feel better sitting around. Is that where these went?
Yes, you left them on the floor before going to bed last night.
You came to bed with me.
Not the terminology I would use. I made sure that you got to bed safely. Yes, I did not go to bed with you.
Would that not be the same? You did not sleep with me, but you did at least go to the bed with...
In that context, yes.
Helia, my head hurts enough.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about it some other time then.
If you'll give me a moment. Zareth then?
Mm-hmm.
I will have to go grab emeralds. Give me a moment.
I can pay your toll, it's fine.
I'll be back.
course.
Perhaps not my wisest decision. Forgot how bright it is here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not any fault of yours. I feel like we had already made plenty of alcohol to at least last through the night. I believe I'd made more than when it was just me drinking with you. We had to buy out a whole... Which Paige does drink a lot.
Paige drinks a obscene amount, and yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I like the flooring.
Me too. It's cobbled limestone.
Well, given that you built it, I would hope you like the flooring.
I suppose so, yeah. But yeah, eventually I'll have the potions ready to go, and then have the High Lady sign off and be ready to open.
You work quickly.
I pride myself in that.
Do you know what you're going to be offering yet?
Yes, I do have a list. Health potions, regeneration, strength, swiftness, end veil, perhaps skulk affinity if I can convince Balefire to allow me to procure dust from the deep dark.
Step up.
Hmm.
It's at least well lit, I'll give you that much.
I apologize for your eyes.
Nothing that you had control over. And this is your work of the day?
Yep, I've mostly been focusing on this.
Good work.
Thank you.
I don't know if you would like to come along with, but I'm going to try and drag myself to Wolvenshire, check in on the butchery as well as Page. She drinks more than me. I can't imagine how she's feeling. It's never been this sore in my entire life.
What?
Thinking. Deja vu. Wolvenshire?
Yes.
Did forget that part.
She's over that way. Oh, butcher shop first.
Is closest. Someone's got more feathers. I don't understand how she has a drinking problem, given that the snow is very hard on the eyes.
Ah.
You said she was where?
To your left. If you want to close your eyes, I can carry you.
Very well. Page.
You don't look so good.
You look surprisingly fine.
I drink heavily, usually.
And how it feels, I believe we both did.
Perhaps you should rest today.
Rest isn't going to solve much besides wasting time.
I suppose.
Besides, Helia stopped by and ripped a few of these off.
Mm.
So,
Oh look, you have some white in your wardrobe.
I suppose whenever Helia took me to bed, she also took the armor and robe. Cloak.
Did you strip him?
No.
I feel like there are conflicting stories here.
Wherever you put them, I will need that back.
I swear to you on my life that I did not take off your armor or your cloak.
You must have misplaced them. I think maybe next time we moderate the drinking a bit.
Helia mentioned a Netherian drink. I do remember the one that went down quite strongly. But besides that, I know that I only brought about the... may have even been less than the amount I drank prior with Helia.
Well, we went bar hopping, so
Bar.
we went
From bar to bar.
Yes.
Helia did mention that you, or as it would be her, picked up more drinks from Enya's, but I assume that was for you.
No, you drank as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm sorry, the term bar hopping? What is the...
It means going from bar to bar.
We also went to Limbo.
Mm-hmm.
Jura's?
Yes.
And have been well staffed. I also don't believe we had a
No, but it was well stocked.
I had asked Nixie to escort us. If that was what you were about to say.
Who?
Nixie, Reyna, and Kai Knight were there as well.
How long did we drink?
Good
Quite a
few
while.
hours.
Nixie joined in.
Reyna, Kai Knight,
Did no.
and
I meant the drinking part.
oh well,
Nixie
no.
joined in the drinking.
Oh yeah, Kai Knight doesn't drink. And Skylar, he was there too for a short time.
Yes, he.
That does
top up
explain.
the cakes.
Thought I had a dream about.
Perhaps some cider would help you.
More alcohol?
It is not alcohol. There's nothing alcoholic in it.
I've got my selection of drink. I should be fine. She's given me many. Thinking on it, this may just be water. This feels about the same.
That's a health potion.
I have not felt a thing.
Oh.
Why did you ask me if we had pot?
I've never been this sore. Or had every piece of dust comprising me in aching pain such as this.
Yes, we did punch each other a bit.
Who won?
Well, considering the shape,
in this
the
spar.
state you're in. You won, don't worry.
We'll have a proper fight.
I just said you won.
Yes, but maybe a fight that he can remember.
That is fair.
What's this you're working on?
Sage advice. It'll
For
be
the sake
a,
of conversation, I'll say I know what that is.
It'll, I suppose, be a bit of a business where I offer to listen to people's problems and, if they wish, give them advice.
It's the therapy scam all over again.
It is not therapy.
That's what I said.
So I need to pay you for friendly advice now?
No, I won't be accepting payment. Perhaps tips, but it's just a place for people to come talk.
Do people not already do that enough?
I suppose the promise of someone to not spill your secrets and be able to tell them a lot is well, some people want it.
I would believe that's, again, to my understanding, having a friend.
Some people may not do that even if they do have friends.
And what would it make a difference having a building dedicated?
Some people just want an impartial party.
Sure.
Well, if you do not understand, it is not for you.
Very well.
Can't help but feel I made it too close to the wall. This upsets me. I could always move the wall. Not too much of it is built. Eh, Apologies if I have not much conversation. Is a building day. Did he fall asleep?
I don't know. Atticus? Hey. Did you fall asleep standing up?
No, I'm just resting my eyes. It's very bright out here. I was telling Helia, I don't know how you have a affinity for drinking when you're surrounded by this. This,
Oh, yes, it is very bright,
very.
but I don't really get hangovers. In fact, the only time I got a hangover, Skylar cured it with magic, so. And the only reason I got the hangover is because I was also bleeding out while drinking.
Oh my.
You were bleeding out?
Yes.
I think that's something you elaborate on.
heal.
Do you want to sit?
I'm fine here.
They're sitting right there.
In the sun, yes.
Oh, is it in the sun for you?
Not bothering to open my eyes enough to look. It's far too bright, I can tell you that much.
I see.
The
It's
sun is
been-
setting.
Well timed. It's been good company. I'm going to take my leave back to the stronghold then.
Would probably be good. Get some good rest. Drink a lot of water.
And eat something.
You're welcome to come along if you would. I didn't realize you were actually coming along.
Unless you don't want me to.
If I didn't want you to, then I wouldn't have said a thing.
Hmm?
Just thinking.
Ah!
You can sit if you would like. I want to make you stand. So Skylar showed up.
He did, yes.
And we went to Limbo.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else of interest?
Lots of drinking, lots of laughing. I took you flying.
You took me flying.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
You seem to enjoy it.
The drinking or the flying?
Perhaps both.
Right. Given that it was apparently ours and across every known realm, surely there was more. Did something bad happen?
I guess you could call it bad, but no harm came from it.
Was it something somebody said?
No. I fell from the balcony of Witherspoon's and took a lot of damage, but it's fine.
As long as you're alright.
I'm alright.
It still doesn't cover a large selection of hours.
Let's see, we went from, Paige's sitting room to the hellhole to limbo. I think you tried making more beer.
After we bought out all of Enya's stock?
Indeed, and also pilfered Jura's as well.
Should see to going and collecting our money back.
I think some people paid, but
To what end? It's almost sad in a way.
how do you mean?
Once Paige is taken in, there was a great number of people wishing to see her and make contact. I believe Skylar, Roinar were the first two, but past that I know yourself, High Knight. Skylar was very persistent. I'd like to say there were others. It was, I suppose, Ophelia would count. No shortage of people there to see her, but now that we've taken Jura in, nobody. Suppose it's just desserts. She... He The extent to which I've conversated with her in the past was... We met at the Netherian ball. We had an after party at Limbo. And went home. Only for me to learn perhaps a month or two later that apparently I had a conversation with her in which I'm not sure exactly, as I haven't been given too many details, but nothing good. She claimed that I tried to bribe her, and that I handed over some sort of banner or flag. And she went, I believe, straight to the High Vessel with this story. Thankfully, they didn't take it anywhere without proof, but until we actually put Jura away, the High Vessel afterwards confided that she hadn't been able to trust me because of it. I believe solely because, at least within my first few months trying to meet people, I wasn't exactly the most friendly or communicative. And especially given what we know now, it seems that she was trying to get a leg up. I'm yet to understand it in full, but if the current charges are anything to go off of, she's a lowlife.
You have no memory of that conversation that she accuses you of?
No, and it was at least the time in which I had went to Limbo. I had not drank yet.
Did you drink at all?
Not at the after party, no. And otherwise, I don't know when I would have had that conversation with her. And well, we had briefly talked at the ball regarding opinions of the crown. Nothing out of me was violent. If anything, I would say that her opinions were, in a way, what grounded me. Her almost abject unruliness, I would say. Seeing how little she stuck to reason made me reevaluate what I had thought was already far out, to realize that there can be further. Give me a moment. That's why as I believe I told you, the bombings gave me such pause. Already trying to wrap my head around Jura, what would compel somebody to baselessly make such accusations about somebody, that if the High Vessel was even slightly more paranoid or ruthless, would have had me executed. To simply fabricate those to make yourself look better, at what could have been the cost of another life, confused me. Only to then, perhaps weeks later, a month later, see that that's not all that people will do to better themselves.
Do you remember what the banner looked like?
I've never seen it.
She never.
I was told that it had letters on it. Precisely.
Wow, okay.
It was also used as leverage when they were trying to search my stronghold, claiming that it was Endirian. They tried to leverage that they, quote-unquote, knew what I've been doing. When I pressed to learn what it is they think that I've done, they brought it up and I had to pry for more information.
The High Vessel stood up for you.
Indeed.
I remember.
It's another one of the reasons that I've gained much respect for her.
There was a meeting that I attended with all 3 of the realms and the main courts where that subject was brought up, and she fiercely defended your home. It's an admirable trait.
Indeed. It's, again, given me a lot of respect for her. The things that I was taught while I was being raised. My father had me to believe that the crown and the castle were bloodthirsty and greedy, only to cover for themselves. There was a Wolfkin draft amongst the overworld. And that was a symptom of its bloodthirst and greed. This selfishness that drove them. And when I had first met the High Vessel, I presumed that she was simply another leg of it. In time, she has proved that she's far from it. That's why I was willing to step up as a knight. Protecting her, even if perhaps her goals are not, my goals are not the same. Her goals are more so maintaining peace, while mine would be, I suppose, less focused on maintaining and more so building. As evidenced by the general castle, it's sparse solely because she's trying to keep afloat, rather than focusing on... Regardless, a tangent. Protecting her means, at least, protecting peace, preventing someone worse from stepping back in.
Indeed.
And even if her goals are more of a... what would the word be? Her goals are more focused on equality versus equity. Making sure everyone has equal opportunity versus Perhaps observing shortcomings. She does her best, and she does very much care for her citizens.
Hmm.
And that I can appreciate. Give me a moment, I'm going to grab water.
When it comes to Jura, I do have a reason to visit her. However, it is not the most kind reason, I suppose.
My one successful visit wasn't exact kind either, so I wouldn't worry about it. You're not very close with Jura either?
She at least respects me. But with what I have to do tomorrow, she will lose that respect. And once she does, if she is freed from the overworld prison, then it is likely possible that she will retaliate against me.
What do you have to do tomorrow?
I have to betray the trust of a friend and arrest him. I'm sure you can guess who, considering that Jura will be likely angry with me afterwards.
Right. he suspected of at least being involved with...
We have a collection of evidence that points to him trespassing in both the Overworld Castle and the Nether Fortress.
Makes the two of them.
Is he coming closer every time? There is no telling what he may have done inside the fortress. The only evidence he left behind were the classic emeralds of the Money Fairy. However, there are important documents in those private rooms that he trespassed into.
The Money Fairy?
Yes, we do believe Vincent to be the Money Fairy.
Perhaps I'm out of the loop, but I don't feel you can say something so unfamiliar, foreign as the... What is a Money Fairy? The Money Fairy?
The Money Fairy is supposedly a mythical being, which not so mythical anymore, who would enter people's homes and leave money behind as a charitable gift. I have experienced money being left in my own abode. However...
I suppose I'm lucky then.
Yes, I thought I was remote, and it seems the Money Fairy had found me.
I don't know what you plan to do to Jura with your visit.
I am not going to do
But
anything to her. What were you saying?
I can turn a blind eye regardless. And if you need somewhere safe to be that evidently neither of them know about, you're welcome here.
I appreciate that.
I have other places that I can sleep.
I do not wish to kick you out of your own home.
Of which I have... You needn't worry.
I'll consider it. When it comes to Jura, I wish to establish a connection with her and offer a olive branch in... Well, I wish to show her kindness under the pretense of keeping an eye on her. And then tomorrow, after I get a confession and arrest Vincent, then I will carefully control the narrative of how she hears about the arrest.
I see. I'll permit any visit you need.
Thank
I
you.
have my own thoughts on to handle things with her in general. But it's difficult to trust her, Zell. I understand that she has confessed, but from what I've seen of people, at least the Enderians, Skylar included, they have a way of half-truths, quarter-truths. They only tell just enough to wiggle out of a situation. They may not lie, but they don't give you everything. They give you...
I'm aware. Vincent told me he would not lie to me, and yet he's spoken half-truths, or perhaps not the full truth, when he explained his situation with Jura, and I was misled in my original thoughts.
Precisely. But given that we both seem to be on a similar line of thought, of at least pulling things in the way that they need to go,
Hmm.
I'm willing to work with it.
Thank you. I feel like such a horrible person for this.
They would do worse to you if things were inverse. Jura, for the sake of, as best I can assume, impressing the High Vessel, whether it ties into her breaking into the castle or not, trying to leverage the High Vessel against her citizens and gain respect. That is the type of person Jura is. Vincent I can't speak for, but Rowena is another one.
Ah, yes, you have to be careful with that one.
So I've heard. I was told that she was attempting to rile me up, but she was one of the ones that argued that she and the rest of the Enderians should have a right into my home. Solely because they used them all some century multiple ago, I'm not sure. Making up laws, calling me a dog in any which way she can. And of course, trying to leverage Jura's story against me. All of these people would do much worse to you should they need to. Don't feel that you're even close to their level. I'm sure if it benefited Rowena, or Jura, or Vincent, or Skylar, or... what's the other one's name? Zach.
Vincent.
Vincent as well. Any one of them. I'm sure, if they had even the slight thought that it would benefit them, would put you or I down. Simply shifting a narrative. It's nowhere close to the means they'd go. The methods they'd employ.
I've never had to manipulate people like this before.
You have to fight fire with fire in some degree. Perhaps not meet a killer with a killer, but it's valuable to take at least a few pages out of their playbook. Otherwise, they'll continue to kick your ass because they're choosing to fight dirty and you think you can take a high road. That's simply how it goes.
I don't know, I'm used to using my words to entertain and uplift instead of manipulate in such a conniving way.
Well, to paraphrase, one item that my father used to bring up or describe. Often you have to maintain a certain peace. He justified our way of life in any number of ways, whichever you could think of for the day. And it was while we were camped out in a desert that, covered in sweat, my clothes, raggedy as they were, filled with sand, that I had the nerve to ask him why. And surely whatever it was that we were hiding from, running from, surely it couldn't be as bad or worse than this. I knew it was war. I naively asked, wouldn't it be better for us just to fight and get it done with quicker? Go back to childish dreams of days around a fire or enjoying a meal with the rest of a pack. And he answered something along the lines of upholding a peace. To bend the knee and simply give in to whatever the river flow dictates, whether it be to enlist and fight in war, or whether it be to try and handle things peacefully. Uphold your dignity and pride as a kind person above all else. Someone has to fight against that. If you simply give in, then it's a losing battle regardless. As I said, someone will always be willing to do worse. Sometimes you have to punch low to make sure that perhaps a better path is carved. Violence may not solve violence, but if you can even perhaps dilute it, then perhaps the next war will be evaded. Perhaps the next Jura or Vincent would be dissuaded. Perhaps my father's father treated him worse than he did me. Perhaps it works downwards. But if we do not learn from what has happened and suppose mark better, make better, it would be pointless nonetheless. The only thing that matters is seeing through to the next day and doing as, I suppose, best as you can, even if it's not the best. If it remedies the situation and it maintains the peace, so others may, as you said, entertain, then you are doing good. You are doing far more than most ever will. Most are complacent in maintaining. Hopefully any of that made sense. My head is screaming much too loud to actually think straight.
It made sense. I just worry that tomorrow Vincent is going to lash out.
Then let him. It would be his own demise, provided you have ample protection, or I suppose whoever has ample protection.
It'll be me talking to him. I can survive a crystalline punch.
Let me know whenever things are coming up, so I can at least be around.
I will.
Very well. But regardless, should he choose to lash out, that only seals his own fate. I'm not sure how Jura's arrest went, but I know that if she had tried to attack, if she had tried to attack anyone involved in the arrest, or even made a threat, things would have gone much worse for her.
Granted, Jura wasn't devolving into insanity. Vincent, unfortunately, is.
People get what's coming to them. It happened with Jura, and if it should need to happen with Vincent, then it will. Either he goes peacefully, and perhaps a sense of normalcy can be reached again.
By the flame, I hope so.
Yes. And if he ends up retaliating, then there would be no hope regardless. Things will work out.
It seems Jura is awake.
Would you like to go visit?
I might as well kick this plan off. She is a fan of my storytelling, so I think I will grab a couple books from my place and then meet you at the castle. Unless if you wish to join me.
I need to find wherever you put my cloak and armor when you took it off.
Ah. Well, I did not take it off. But very well. I'll meet you there.
The armor plate is very... I don't know how I would have taken that off myself. You know your way back to the Waystone?
Yes. Sorry.
No. Perfectly fine.
I'll meet you there.
I'll meet you there.
They would do worse to me. I have to defend my High Lady. I suppose I'll just have to live with myself. Damn it, Vincent, please. Oh, I hope that you were just ignorant. I hope that your intentions were good. can't mention anything about Vincent. I have to play this carefully. I can read to her, ask her questions of what she's doing, circle things back to her, and keep her talking. I can't allow any deviation from conversation, at least towards Vincent. Would they do worse? Vincent is my friend. I consider Rowena my friend. I thought Zach and I are on good terms. Atticus.
If you'll allow me to meet with her first, and then I can come retrieve you.
Alright.
I'll be back.
Are you speaking?
Lost in thought.
Ah.
She's awake, if you would like to visit now. I've informed her that things have escalated, but I did not share any extent. It's a...
Escalated how?
Who's to say? It's a thought game, mainly.
Thank you.
If she thinks that her situation's worsening, she's going to do anything she can to crawl and claw her way out of it.
By volunteering information?
Perhaps.
I like the way you play these games.
I told her that I went out drinking with a few last night, and information comes out when drunk about her current state. So to preface, I don't think she believes you're here out of the goodness of your heart. I will step away to at least give her an illusion of privacy.
Feel free to listen.
I will.
Thank you.
Right then. As forewarning, Helia, I will be up the stairs, but should anything come up, do shout.
Of course. Thank you.
Very well.
Jura? Hey.
Helia?
Oh, yeah, right. You haven't seen me in a while.
What? What? I'm sorry, I just...
You're not hallucinating, I promise.
No, it's just... I didn't expect you to be the one to visit me.
Oh.
I mean, I'm happy, but... I don't know. I guess I just wasn't expecting you.
Well, I thought some kindness could do you good.
Right. I'm not sure if kindness for a quote-unquote dying woman is kindness or pity, but...
You're
I'll
not
take
the
what I
only
can get at
dying
this
woman
point.
here.
Right. Well, I mean, considering your condition, I can assume as much. Not that I really know, nor do I wish to pry.
It's a long story.
Well, I've got time. Nothing but it.
I wish I had more of it.
Don't we all?
The reason why I'm blue is because it is supposedly helping keep me alive long enough to find another solution.
I see. Well, it's certainly different, but it suits you.
Thank you.
Then again, you would probably look good in any color.
You
Sorry,
flatter me.
I don't mean to partake in any pointless flattery. It just kindness repays kindness, I suppose.
Well, I am not seeking any repayment. It is just simply something I felt was right.
I see. Even for a criminal like me.
I suppose. I know how lonely it can get in a cell. I've spent my fair share of time in one.
Well, so have I. I think it's a problem when it becomes too comfortable, though.
True, I'll give you that. But I simply wanted, well, coming from a place that knows how dismantling of the mind it could be, I wanted to provide you with some stimulation.
I see. Thank you for that.
Of course.
And again, I've been sleeping for a long time. So I guess
Sleeping.
I haven't really needed a lot. Yeah,
Don't you not
It's-
sleep?
we're not supposed to, but there are circumstances outside of my control.
Ah,
I'm sure you understand.
I can only imagine. I would like to ask how you are, but I think that's pretty evident.
Well, my second tenure locked in a cell. And this time not for something accidental. So I guess I'm just shocked I even have a visitor. Grateful, but shocked. If anything, I would have thought that all three realms would have lost complete and utter trust in me. Though I'm sure that's not an unfair assessment.
I will not lie and say that I have trust in you. However, I do believe that there should always be some sort of kindness, however little it may be.
You are definitely smart, Helia. I wouldn't trust me either if I was on the other side of the door. I just did what I thought was right. But it was nothing I even had to concern myself with to begin with. That's all. How are you, other than the stasis between life and death thing?
Busy. Many priorities on my plate.
I'm sure. You are the High Priestess of the Nether. It's to be expected.
Indeed. It's not an unwilling burden, though. It is one that I shoulder gladly.
That's good.
Do you believe that you will be let out soon, or?
Well, if what Atticus is telling me has any merit to it, then the only time I'll be let out of this cell is for when my head goes rolling. But then again, he could be pulling my leg, for all I know. Well, when I spoke with Balefire, he had mentioned that execution was off the table, but he claims circumstances have changed. Though I don't know how true that is.
I will not claim to know either. As blunt as it sounds, this is not my realm.
Understandable. It's not your realm, and it's not your problem. Not your circus, nor your monkeys.
Indeed.
Do you... Do you believe that people can really change? Or do you think they're just doomed to surrender to their vices?
Depends on the person. I believe it takes strength to change. A willingness to. If a person is unmotivated and has no will to become a better person, then they are doomed to their own ways. If there is initiative and, dare I say, someone to help change them and be there for them, then I do have faith in that. Granted, I am very much an optimist. In most cases.
So you don't believe that we're just doomed, so to speak, on a predestined, charted course?
No, Jura. If we don't fight for hope, then what do we fight for?
I don't even know what I fight for at this point, Helia. I lost too many things, gained too many things, and then lost them again. I just don't know anymore.
I understand that giving up may feel easy and like you deserve it. I was there once as well, but the people who love you will continue to live with despair and sorrow upon you giving up.
I seriously doubt that. My family won't even visit me. He wouldn't even look at me.
Then if not for them, then don't give up for yourself.
to ask such a digging question, I guess.
No need to apologize.
Sorry, I don't want to keep you.
It's alright. I brought books. If you want me to read them to you.
What kind of books?
2 of the stories that I once told when I was fighting in the war.
Oh,
One of them you may have heard already. It is an Enderian legend that I thought you may be interested in.
okay.
It's called Unfaltering. Well, Unfaltering Wings.
Mhm.
Within the abyss of a void, a dragonborn was given life. He entered the world with small, deformed wings, something that would haunt the growth of the child for well into adulthood. He was bullied, his pride shattered for the condition of his wings. The little training he could handle barely taught him to stay airborne, his wings too weak to hold his weight. When he came of age, the military nearly rejected him, but he pleaded with the general commander, begging to serve in any way possible. It would strip the young dragonborn of his dignity to be turned away from service. Ultimately, he was given a position as a cartographer, keeping maps for the army. It was an important job, keeping the general commander informed of the islands and of their movements of the enemies. The dragonborn did his duty with pride, going above and beyond to make up for the strength his wings lacked. Over the years he served, the dragonborn became close with many soldiers, including the general commander. They shared a connection born of battle and strategy, unbreakable and unfaltering. Even without the status as a soldier, the general commander respected the cartographer for his skill and passion. One day, the army attacked, brutally. Somehow, the enemy had eluded the scouts and unleashed a successful ambush upon the Enderians. Many were lost in battle, and retreat became necessary for survival. The army, what remained of them, boarded the flying ships, setting sail into the void for the place of their retreat. Another island, far from the one they called home all these years. The general commander, selfless as she was, remained behind, ensuring her surviving people boarded the ships and retreated safely. She held off the charge of the enemy single-handedly, using every last drop of power and prowess she had. It was a brave and honorable final stand, a warrior's death. The void, however, did not seem to be done with the general commander just yet. Fallen on the battlefield, surrounded by bodies, she struggled to breathe, having taken a grievous wound. She stared up at the void, counting every little star, welcoming her death. Then a familiar man stood over her, shocked to find her alive. The cartographer had remained behind, collecting his maps, and missed the final ship. The pair knew that they were as good as dead, and yet, surrounded by incoming enemies, the cartographer took the general commander in his arms, steeled himself, and took desperate flight. He soared into the air, his small and misshapen wings bearing the weight of his body and hers. Somehow they did not falter, even as the cartographer flew after the final ship. Arrows were soon shot at the pair as they flew, barely missing his wings. Had they been even an inch bigger, both cartographer and commander would fall and embrace the void below. Through sheer will, he flew, delivering himself and the near-dead commander to the deck of the final ship. Together, they managed to survive, and the legend of the cartographer's unfaltering wings, his name lost to time, lives on.
That's one I've never heard before.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, surprisingly. Then again, we all grew up with our own folk legends.
Ah.
Have you heard of tethered hearts?
No, but it sounds intriguing.
It is. It's an old legend about Crystallians. I wish I had a copy on me, but they took everything from me. You'll probably find it in the Endarian library. I'm sure if you asked Nixie, she'd tell you.
I believe the librarians were indeed trying to build a library.
Oh. I haven't heard about that.
It's a recent development as of last night.
I see. Well, at least she's keeping herself busy. Tethered Hearts is a good story, though, if you ever have the chance.
I will look into it.
But it's a good story. A nice one. Have you seen Amma lately?
Yes, yesterday.
How did she seem?
Well, when I saw her, she was trying to beat Paige up, respectfully, in a training ground, but she and Skylar left shortly after.
Of course she left with Skylar. Who else would she have left with?
Skylar does seem to preach about Alma's hotness. Apparently they moved in together, too.
What?
Yes, I heard that today. Apparently Skylar has been moving in with Alma and cooks breakfast as rent. Why?
Just... Of course she spends her time gallivanting with a man rather than visiting her sister in jail.
Ah.
Read the missive. God, really is all just pointless.
I can reach out to them if you want me to.
Don't bother. If they don't want to see me, they don't want to see me.
Very well.
Any other stories?
I brought another one. I brought two. This one is a newer one that I added to the library called Garden of the Gallows. It is a bit more dark.
Garden of the Gallows, huh?
I know, the
Sounds
name...
about appropriate.
The name is, interesting, I suppose. Every soul leaves a seed behind. That was the belief in Rockwall, a grim little overworld town where justice was swift and always hung by the neck. For decades, the executions took place at dawn, and by dusk, flowers bloomed in the blood-stained earth beneath the scaffold. Martin, the hangman, was the one who planted them. He never asked why. It was tradition, older than the gallows themselves. I'm beginning to realize that I chose the wrong book for this. I apologize.
It's okay. I mean, if If anything, we can laugh about it.
I do like the ending of this one, I won't lie. Anyway. After each execution, he would kneel, ungloved, and press a seed into the soil. Lavender for thieves, marigolds for traitors, white heather for murderers. When the blossoms came, he took comfort in the idea that something beautiful could grow from something broken. Until her. Her name was Iskra. She arrived in chains, accused of sedition and murder, the usual crimes for those who speak too loudly in the wrong rooms. She didn't cry, didn't beg. She only stared straight ahead, calm as the winter sky. When Martin asked her last words, she said, "Do you know what grows under blood, hangman?" He did not answer. They hung her at dawn. By law, he was to plant marigolds. Instead, when the guards left, Martin hesitated. There was something cold in the air, something wrong. He planted the seeds anyway, hand shaking. The next morning, the garden had bloomed overnight, but not marigolds. Blood-red lilies, vines coiling around the scaffold legs like veins. Petals shaped like blades, and in the middle, a black rose with edges like charred paper. He tried to cut it down. The vines bled, the rose screamed. From that night on, Martin began to dream of every soul he'd ever sent downward, their faces blurred out, but their voices sharp. Some pleaded, some cursed. One sang. Iskra did none of those. She only watched, always from the center of the garden, where the soil pulsed like a wound. Soon the townsfolk noticed the change. No more ordinary flowers. The garden beneath the gallows became strange, wild, impossible. Some said it was cursed. Some said it was holy. One day, a child vanished near the scaffold. They found him days later, safe but changed. His eyes were black as soil, and he whispered in flowers. The town demanded the gallows be torn down, but when they tried, the wood wept sap that burned like acid. And the roots beneath, roots not of oak and ash, but something older, gripped the earth too deep to unearth. Martin stopped sleeping. One night he returned to the scaffold alone, lantern in hand, rope coiled in one palm, spade in the other. He stood before the black rose, now tall as a man, petals closed like a clenched fist. "I remember now," he whispered. "I remember every one of them." Then he stepped onto the platform. He tied the rope, and with no one there to ask his last words, he simply said, "Let something good grow from me, for once." He jumped. At dawn, the town awoke to find the garden had bloomed again. But this time, not in blood. 1,000 flowers of every color imaginable stretched toward the morning sun. The gallows were gone, and the black rose bloomed no more. Some justice heals, some justice haunts, some takes root where no one dares to look.
Let something good grow from me for once. Guess that story does lead you to wonder. Was he himself the sinner? Or was it the circumstances of the law that made him sin? Would his death truly atone for hers?
All of their deaths.
Perhaps sometimes it is better
Perhaps, but then use that weight to develop more strength.
Of course. If you're gonna carry that weight, you may as well allow it to make you stronger. Seems you are ever the optimist, Helia.
It's something I pride myself in.
You're lucky to have kept that. That optimism, that hope.
It was the only thing that I could hold on to.
I won't pretend like I understand.
I will not burden you with the details. It's just... there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. You may not see it all the time, but it's there.
I would offer you to unburden yourself over a drink, however. I do not think it is appropriate regarding the circumstances.
And I do not drink.
I have apple juice.
I always carry strawberry tea.
Okay. A drink doesn't have to be a drink.
I suppose.
You are certainly right to not trust me. But if I live through this, I'll try.
Effort brings rewards that can't come without it.
Of course. Words only speak so loud, you know?
I suppose, but in my time using words, they are instrumental, I suppose. But yes, actions do speak quite loudly. Hold on to hope, Jura.
I'll try.
Sometimes that's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I won't keep you for much longer then. I'll let you rest.
Thank you, Helia.
You're welcome.
One more thing.
Hmm.
Have you seen Vincent around?
The last I heard of him, he was... I apologize, were you saying something?
No, you can continue.
The last that I heard of Vincent was that he was seeing Ophelia. Not in romantic terms, in patient-doctor terms.
I understand. That's good. If you do see him, just tell him I love him and that I'll see him soon.
I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
How did things go?
Oh, my hands are shaking and I feel a pit in my stomach.
Would you like to meet back at the stronghold?
Yeah.
I'm going to check back in and then I will see you there.
Okay.
Here. So of some of this, I believe you elected.
Thank you. I'm so awful. How can I say those things and not believe them myself?
Are you alright?
Yeah. Thank you.
If anyone is to ask, most likely Paige, as that's who I told it to. Jura was not herself tonight.
I see.
What is on your mind?
That I'm such a horrible person for manipulating someone like this. Making a friend just to turn around and betray them tomorrow.
Quite pessimistic now. If it's not enough solace to know that she or Vincent would do much worse, perhaps take solace or comfort in her situation is not entirely manufactured or controlled. The only people that have asked to visit are Skylar, which I'm sure you can agree is very automatic denial. Yourself and Paige. I think that ignoring any context of who she is and what she has done outstanding, she is quite lonely.
I feel an aching amount of pity.
Precisely. Even if you are only making a friend out of her for your own utility and safety, she needs all of the friends she can get, as there are truly not many. Frankly, given how it stands now, I don't know if she would even mind knowing that you only made a friend out of her for your own sake. After all, she doesn't have many opportunities to speak at all. Many of the times I've stepped down, she's asleep or unresponsive in general. Do not look at it as that you're a horrible person by any means. View it as you've offered the hopeless hope. You've been a candle in the dark to someone that's at the end of their rope.
Thank you, Atticus.
Of course. first night that I drank with you. I do at least remember some flashes. Glimpses or moments. At some point, I believe, I laid my head on you.
So you did?
Would that be alright?
I do not mind it in the slightest.
I'm going to rest. Should you need to leave, then go ahead. Whenever you need to.
Good night, Atticus.